Hello and welcome. Today I'm going to share with you how I rigged up my Panasonic GX85 to go downtown in Fresno and take some B-roll. Now, before I get started, my mini studio that I've been working on, I think I have 3 videos up of what I've been doing and improving it. I think this is the nicest so far that I've got it, but before I was using minimal lights. I mean, like all Dollar Tree lights. Right now I have 2 Dollar Tree lights going. I have a 1 hair light up here from the Dollar Tree, and I have those fairy lights back there from the Dollar Tree. And I have an Amran 200 XS and a 60 XS, you know, and a ring light going. So, and an Amram 25C giving me the purple background. So, moving on. I'm happy with the studio. So, maybe do a separate video on just, again, as I improve. And right now the space is about, I would say 8 feet from wall to the backdrop and, 6 feet across. Okay, enough of that. The reason for this video is to share what I did with my camera here, my GX85, and as you can see, I put it in a matte box, or excuse me, I put it in a cage. By the way, the whole reason to put it in a cage was I wanted to put some rods here so I could put a matte box on it and I could use my vintage motion picture filters that I have. But the way that I have it rigged, there's no way. It's a hokey, and I'm not going to recommend. In fact, I'm not even going to show you how I did it because it's, I wouldn't recommend it. If I get it to where I can recommend it, well, I'll do a video on it and show you how you could do the same. But right now it's just too hokey, and I've got it, attached here with a zip tie. But it did work for the day that I went out shooting, and you can see here, this is, let me get this chair out of the way. Okay, so, I was down using it like this, and, except for when I was in my car and whatnot, and I shot it in 4K. I think it's 100 mpbs. I used an ND filter. I think I was about 6 or 7 stops with the ND filter in full daylight at f2.8 to f4. So ND filter a must, unless, you could put it in program mode and do it without an ND filter, but you're going to get not as good a results in the end. And you could Google why that is. Not going to get into it. But anyway, so I went downtown Fresno and just spent some time, shooting some B-roll, and this is what I got. Enjoy. So check this out. I'm driving like northwest up Santa Fe Avenue, and it's, if I turn up the sound here a little bit, you can tell how how poor this road is. It's just like full of potholes and cracks. It's like, you know, probably as bad as it gets in Fresno. So it's like an industrial wasteland down here. And over here to the left, you see all these trains. And that overpass there is Highway 41. And then that modern looking building there, you can see right there in the center, that is the Robert E. Coyle Federal Building, commonly called the Federal Courthouse. And it's, I think, the newest completed multi-story commercial government building in downtown Fresno. It was finished in 2005, just like 9 stories tall. And anyway, it's a pretty impressive building, super modern, really beautiful inside. And, you know, Fresno's got some other buildings, commercial buildings in the works, is trying to, you know, lift its image. But, you know, that's the newest commercial building that I know of, not excluding residential. Now, to the left of me are the Bitwise buildings. I don't know if you know about that scam, but yeah, those painted buildings are the Bitwise buildings. So now I'm coming up here. I'm at Cesar Chavez, and I'm going to go, you know, across Cesar Chavez, and then everything changes. You go from, you know, an industrial wasteland to, you know, it gets looking pretty nice down this street. Actually, if you go one street south, it's even nicer, I think. But anyway, here we are. We're coming up, and the federal building, I believe, is just here on the to the left. And there it is, directly ahead of us. Well, the camera mic picked up the sound of that fire truck very well, but you really need a separate audio recorder for the ambient sounds, in my opinion.